and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nikki Kirk and I've been selling on Amazon doing mostly FBA retail arbitrage for the last 5 years. I've actually sourced from this fifth wheel RV all over the country in all 48 states, and in the last 2 years I've actually been fortunate enough to be able to help so many sellers get started with their own Amazon selling business. It's truly an honor and I really love doing it because this whole Amazon thing is life-changing, and I just want to encourage anyone out there who wants to do it and help them along the way. In today's video, I'm going to be going over new seller mistakes I've seen people make, mistakes I have made, and how you can kind of avoid them if possible. But mostly I just want to tell you that making a mistake in business is normal, and if you're doing Amazon, it's completely normal. And actually, if you make a mistake, that's great because you're going to learn something and move on and grow in your Amazon business. If making a mistake is something that is holding you back from starting your Amazon business, I want to just tell you to forget about it. Just start, because you are absolutely 100% gonna make a mistake. You'll probably make multiple mistakes, but it's okay. We've all been there, and I'm here to tell you that you can move past them, continue on. I've made a mistake that got me deactivated, but I got my account back and continued on, and it's been successful before that and after that. So it's all just a part of it, and don't freak out and don't let that fear of making a mistake or you're gonna do something wrong stop you, because you are 100% gonna do something wrong. But it's okay. Hopefully this video will help you out. If you want more help from me and my awesome community of Amazon sellers, consider joining the beginner FBA Amazon training course, which will walk you through how to set up your account, what to look for, what to source, where to source online, how to pack up your shipment, what happens when you get paid, all the different aspects that go to running your Amazon business, step by step, in an easy course that you can come back to at any time that you need to. On top of that, it also has a community of sellers where you can pop in and ask, like, hey, I think I did something wrong, what do you do here? Or, hey, this is happening, I need help. I'm in there all the time answering questions. A whole community of sellers are in there answering your questions, and we're all learning and growing together. Also, as a part of that group, every third Thursday of the month, I have a live Q&A hangout where we all ask questions, learn stuff, ask tips. So it's available if you would like to join and you want more personal help. You can learn more about the course at yoursellingguide.com. Okay, so let's jump into the mistakes. Number one is just starting, making that first purchase. So many people, myself included, overthink it and worry that they're going to be buying something wrong. I sourced for probably 4 to 6 weeks before I ever bought something for my first Amazon shipment. It was totally overthinking, dragging my feet. When I finally did buy something, I was like, oh, I don't know, like just totally in my head, making that first mistake of simply overthinking and not sending stuff in just to start. The best way to start is simply to start. So buy the stuff, even if you're not sure, and send that shipment in, because you're gonna learn so much in that process. And just like about anything in life that you're scared to do, once you do it, that fear is like starting to slip away, right? So now you've sent in a shipment, now the next one's gonna be even easier. You might be able to not wait as long, you won't drag your feet, and you'll be ready to go. You'll have that momentum going to keep driving you to send in more stuff. Along those lines, mistake number 2 is buying something and waiting too long to send it in. So prices fluctuate, things change on Amazon all the time, and the longer you're holding on to your stock waiting to send that shipment in, the more likely those prices are going to go down and you're going to be not making as much profit. So always, whenever you buy something, try to send it in as quickly as possible. For me, I go sourcing one day and then I try to send it in by the end of that same week, if not the next day or the following day. Just depends when you have time to prep it and pack it. But if you go sourcing once, like let's say you go on Monday, try to get that shipment in by Friday, but even if it's next Monday, that's good. What happens is if you hold on to it too long, the prices are going to go down and you're going to wonder why you're not making any profit, and it's just because you kind of want to send it in as soon as you scanned it. So you bought it for a reason, it was at a certain price, and you want to send it in at that price as close as possible. Now, I do tell sellers to kind of hold on to their stuff until they have 30 items, but if you've been holding on to it for a couple of weeks and you only got 15, just send those 15 in. Just get the hang of it, because the reason I say to have 30 items is so that you have the cost of the shipping it to Amazon not eating up all your profit. So if you have 30 items and it costs you $30 to send it, that's $1 of profit off of every item, right? But if you have, say, when you're starting to go and you've got it going, you send in 100 items and it costs $30, now that's not eating so much of your profit, right? It's not as much per item to send it in. That's why the more items you have, the better ratio of shipping comes out. And so that's why I typically say try to hold it until you have 30. But if that means you're going to hold for a month, don't, just send it in. Now, while I'm talking about shipping really quickly, a good estimate is 50 cents a pound, and you can add that in your Amazon seller app. Just add 50 cents and it will then tell you what your profit is, and you can kind of estimate that in. Now, I only recently started adding this into my app. I really didn't consider it a factor, because if I'm making my $5 profit, it's covering that cost to ship it. So I just never really considered it. But if you want to be safe, 50 cents an item or 50 cents a pound is a good buffer room. Okay, mistake number 3, not utilizing Keepa from the start. So Keepa does take some getting used to, but the things that you really should look for are pretty simple to learn. So using Keepa will tell you the price history, the rank history, and if Amazon was selling it. So you can see, like, hey, did you happen to scan it on a fluke high price and it really only sells for $20, not the $40 you thought that it was going to sell for? It'll tell you if Amazon was ever selling it, and if Amazon is selling it, that's less likely that they're going to share the buy box with you and less likely that you're going to sell it. It'll also tell you the rank over time. So if you see the rank going like this, it's not pretty consistent, but if the rank's like this, that's a pretty consistent rank, and it's more likely to be that rank over time, right? So that's something that you want to watch for. Utilizing Keepa will really help you minimize your bad buys. And unfortunately, to utilize Keepa the most, you do have to pay that monthly subscription. So I think it's 22 US. It is in euros, but when it conversions out, I think it's $22 or $23 a month. It is a must-have, and I'm sorry that I'm telling you, a new seller, there's a must-have tool, but it really is, because it's going to save you so much in the long run from those bad buys. Similarly to using Keepa is knowing the ranks of a product. So the rank of an item is telling you if it's going to sell. I have a free download. When you sign up for my email list, you get it sent over directly. It has the rank guidelines that I would recommend following, and it's still what I follow. So each category in the rank that I am highest comfortable in. So that means in beauty, my highest comfortable rank that I'll go up to. Anything above that, I don't buy because it's not going to sell as much. Of course, you can test different things, but this is a helpful tool to you if you're starting to know what's a good rank for those categories. So if a product does not have a rank, that means it's either brand new or it's just not selling. The rank is telling you how it's moving. Now, the rank is fluid and it changes day to day. It can change throughout the day. Definitely it changes, but it does tell you. That's why Keepa comes in handy if the rank is kind of like this or if it's like this. If you scanned it when it was here, but the rest of the time it's up here, that means it's probably normally a high rank and it's not going to sell as much. So things to look out for. While you're scanning, if you don't see a rank, just put it back on the shelf and scan the next thing. If you happen to get blinded by the profit, you say, oh wow, look at this profit, and you totally miss that there's no rank. Just know that that happens. I have gotten stuff home all the time and I'm like, wait, why did I buy this? And I just take it right back to the store. So it does happen, but identifying if it has a rank and what category it is really something that helps new sellers a lot. And I see the mistake when they buy something that didn't have a rank and they're wondering why it didn't sell. It's because it doesn't sell. Mistake number 4, forgetting to check the expiration dates. So products like beauty and grocery, anything with an expiration date, some pet foods have them, they have to be 120 days out for FBA. So what can happen is, and I do this kind of often, is you'll start to research the product, you'll do that whole Keepa check that maybe that took 10 to 15 minutes to just double check that the product's right, and then you turn it over and you see the expiration date is close or past. And now you can't even sell it, you just wasted all that time. So that is the annoying part. The super annoying part is when you get it home and now you have to take it back to the store because you forgot to check the expiration date and it's expired. All of these things definitely happen. It's unfortunate, but it's just more annoying if you forget to check it at the store and notice when you get home. Or double checking, if you find something and you're like, oh cool, I'm gonna get 6 of them, check every single one's expiration date because they might be different. That has definitely happened to me also, and I'm like, wait a second, these are September and this is August, what happened there? So definitely want to check the expiration date. If it's a food or beauty item, that is the first thing I do so that I don't waste the rest of the time researching the product when I couldn't sell it anyways because the expiration date has passed. If you're doing FBM, you can do closer expiration dates, but you want to make sure that whatever it is, the person has time to use it. So if it's 180-day vitamins, they need to be at least 180 days out, right? So they're not expired by the time that they use them. So that's just something to note for FBM. Really quickly, while we're talking about expiration dates, when you're packing up your shipment for Amazon, it's going to ask you for expiration dates. Not all products have them that it asks for, so I just make one up a year out in advance and I put that date in. It doesn't really mean anything to Amazon. I've never had any problems with it. I've been doing that for 5 years. So that's what I do. If it doesn't have an expiration date, the manufacturer is following the law, and if it needed to have one, it would have one. So I don't ever add them to my products, and for Amazon, I just enter an expiration date that's a year in advance. New seller mistake number 5, quitting. So many sellers quit because it is hard and it is work. It's especially hard and especially frustrating in the beginning. So if you're just starting this business because you thought it was going to be easy and it was going to be quick money, it's going to be hard and it's going to be work, and the learning curve is steep, but it's doable. So I like to say it's like learning a new language. It's hard, it's frustrating, but it's totally doable because likely you don't know anything about selling on Amazon. If you're like me, you don't even know anything about starting a business, and you are starting a business. So it's gonna take some time and it's gonna have to be some learning, but a lot of people just give up really quickly. Now, maybe it's not a mistake for quitting, but I have had sellers tell me that they took a break and then they came back because they just couldn't do it. So, but they did come back, but they said, I wish I hadn't quit. I wish I would have just stuck through it and learned while it got hard, because they missed that whole time frame in that gap where they quit. So if you really want this, don't fall into mistake number 5 and just simply quit. Keep pushing through, get a part of the community. You can join my community. I have different ungating guides, or the Bolo group, or the beginner group. Join a community and ask questions in a safe place and get helpful responses, which I'm very proud to say is what my community has to offer. I started all my different guides and courses because I wanted sellers to succeed, just like I have been able to. So that's why I started it and why I'm so passionate about helping sellers keep going. But if you're gonna fall into mistake number 6, which is thinking that it's easy, fast money, well, it's not. And then you might as well just quit. Selling on Amazon is not easy money. It's not fast money. In fact, you might not see any money for 3 to 4 months. You'll be sinking money into your business, you'll be investing money into your business, and you might not ever see anything substantial back. You definitely won't probably see a profit back for 3 to 4 months. That is a mistake I see so many people out there making. If someone told you, it was not me, if someone out there in YouTube made it sound like this was easy, fast money, you can do it like this, it's not. It's not. If you need money right now, you are better going to get an hourly job and starting this thing on the side, because you're not going to see any money back from Amazon literally for 4 to 6 weeks, and anything substantial for 3 to 4 months, possibly 6 months. So do not put any money into a business, because again, we are starting and running businesses, that you can't afford to lose or not get back for a while. So for me, I invested first $1,000 of my savings, and then around month 2, I invested another $750 for more inventory to keep that inventory flowing and get it up there to building to be able to pull a profit. So around the 4-month mark, I actually pulled back out my initial investment, so I paid myself and my savings back, and around the 6th month is when I actually started to pull out a profit. Now, I was doing this part-time, I've always been doing it part-time, and I was pulling out my income that way, making really good income for part-time hours. However, if you want to do it full-time, and you have the time, money, resources to do it full-time, you can be pulling out money quicker. It's all just what you have to go into it. So never compare yourself to other people. Do what is best for you. If you have part-time hours and part-time investment, that's fine. Just know it's going to be taking longer to get those numbers and those results that you're looking for. If you need money right now, you guys, do not sell on Amazon. It is not a get rich quick. It is not get rich pretty much ever, and it's going to take some time. If you need income right now, I don't like those emails that I get that's like, oh, I need some money now, I have my bills to pay. Don't do this. This is not the way to do that. But if you want to set this up to where in 6 months or a year, you have that investment and that income coming in from it, it is 100% possible, but it's not going to be overnight. Most businesses take 2 years to turn a profit. Amazon has made it easier in that just about anyone can get started and you can start turning a profit within 6 months or a year, but it is not overnight. New seller mistake number 7, listing the wrong product. So I actually still do this sometimes. I don't really get to the listing part. I usually check it ahead of time and I notice it. But if you scan something and you weren't fully paying attention, maybe it's a 2-pack or a bundle, or it's a set of this or that, or the ounces changed, things that you might not have noticed changed. Like I've seen where like a cake mix gets rid of an ingredient and that's totally different, but it might look the same on a box. So all different things that have happened. If you list on the wrong one, you can pull it back from Amazon, or if you've got it home and you notice then, like is what usually happens with me, you can just take it back to the store or find the listing that it goes for. But either way, you want to make sure you're listing on the right product. This actually happens a lot as a new seller, so taking those steps when you were checking it back in the store with Keepa to just really double check that it's exactly the same. The hidden bundles is actually one of the things that happens a lot. Sometimes in the Amazon seller app, it'll say package quantity 2. Sometimes it's in the title. Sometimes you have to go read the features and details and read if it's a pack of 1 or 2. So just double check that everything is exactly the same. The product you bought is the same as the listing. If it's just packaging change, totally fine, and you'll probably see that often. If it's just the packaging that's different, it's the same flavor, same ounces, same pounds, whatever it is, as long as it's exactly the same, just new packaging, totally fine to list it. New seller mistake number 8, getting upset by the fees. So this is not something that I ever experienced, but I have seen it happen a lot with new sellers, is they get upset that the fees are so much to sell on Amazon. Here's the deal. You're selling on Amazon's platform. They've got all their customers. If you're doing FBA, they are managing customer service for you. They're warehousing the item. They are shipping it out to the Amazon customer, paying for that. You're not paying for that, right? You're paying the fee to sell it. When I scan something, I don't actually ever notice the fee. I scan it, I put in the cost of goods that I paid for it, and I see if it makes profit. If it doesn't make profit, I just put it back on the shelf. I don't say, oh, it's not making profit because of the fees. Amazon is never going to not charge you fees to sell on their platform. Alternatively, you could open a website, market that website to get customers to shop there, purchase inventory, put it on there, manage all the orders, ship out the orders yourself, manage the customer service, all of that kind of stuff. Or you could just sell with Amazon's platform with their millions of customers who shop every day and pay them a fee to do so. If you find yourself getting upset about the fees, just take a second, pause, and say, why are you getting upset about this? If it's because you're not finding stuff and you're thinking that it's the fees, it's not that. There is stuff out there, even with all the fees that we pay to Amazon to sell it, and we still make a profit. So put it back on the shelf and move on to the next thing. Don't give those fees another thought because they are not going anywhere. And if you're stuck in the mindset that you're mad at the fees, you are doing yourself a disservice and you're just going to get frustrated. Again, like I mentioned, it's not anything I ever even looked at. The fees are just a part of it. It's going to be there all the time. So I just scan something, does it make money? No, put it back on the shelf. Scan the next thing and move on. Believe me, there's stuff out there. Just keep scanning, scan, scan, scan. If you get frustrated at that store, in that aisle, go to another store, go to another aisle. You can consider joining the BOLO group, which will help you give you ideas of what I'm buying, what other sellers are buying right now in stores to help you get an idea of what to look for and broaden your horizons. Definitely, please don't get upset at the fees. It's one of those things that's hard for me to say, like, it's like the sky's blue. It just is. We're not going to change it, so let's just focus elsewhere. Shift your focus. So much of being successful on Amazon and in business and in just all different things of life is your mindset, and just keep a nice mindset. Things will get frustrating. Things will get annoying. You will make mistakes, but if you can keep a positive mindset that it's okay, we're going to get past this hurdle and we're going to move on and everything is going to work out, you will be successful selling on Amazon. Just keep pushing and keep going out there. Everything is not always going to be easy. You absolutely 100% will make a mistake, but it's all just a part of doing life and doing business and running your Amazon selling business. If you've made a new seller mistake, definitely hop in the comments and let us know. We can all learn from each other's mistakes. That's one thing I love about the Bolo group and all my groups in general is when someone makes a mistake, they're like, oh yeah, and here's how you fix it. Everyone's just really helpful and helping each other out. So let's have a thread of all your new seller mistakes, or maybe your old seller made a mistake, because it still happens. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you back here for another Amazon selling video.